Hey guys, hi, this is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. Hey, today we're going to talk about my favorite subject, which is always sales. All right, we got a pretty cool subject for ourselves today, so let's go ahead and delve into it. It's from experience over the years. Like I said, I've been in sales for a long time in some form of capacity. It's all good. Customer service is selling, if you didn't know that either, guys. This is the key to success. This is our question. Selling, how to run a door-to-door selling crew. The question is selling, how to run a door-to-door selling crew. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a really good question. I've had a few people ask me about my experiences and the things that I've seen when I was, helping people do door-to-door selling. I still do it. I still talk to people all the time in the field. You got to make money. And if you can have a crew of people that you can get together, you can target market different areas and you don't have to blow out a territory. A lot of places are pretty doggone huge, and there's a lot of places where people have homes and rental properties and things of this nature. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, we're growing and we're like crazy right now, making things happen. So if you're looking to save yourself and you're wanting to make money, in door-to-door selling, hey, listen, to run a crew, you can also be a person who puts out flyers. You can use them in this capacity. You can also have door hangers where you can use crews to hang materials before somebody's actually going out there to knock on the door. There's a lot of different ways that you can run a crew. And one of the things that I've dealt with in my own experiences, I worked with a really good company back in the day, and they had a really good product and they had a great opportunity to make a lot of different money, but you work for yourself, you work straight commission. And sometimes, when you work straight commission, you got to remember you got to pay the tax man someday. So in this regard, if you're doing door to door and somebody's telling you got a contract that you got to pay your own way, okay, well, that's good. You can make a lot of money. But don't be surprised if down the road if you got to pay your taxes. So put away some money for a rainy day. Selling and being a manager for a crew of people, I hate that word crew because it sounds like, we're going out there fishing, or I love that stuff, but it doesn't sound strong. What I like to say is you're running a group of people who are interested in making a hell of a lot of money. If you are a salesperson and you hook up with a good crew, a group of people that are like-minded and same-minded, and you get picked up at a particular location every day, at least Monday through Friday or Saturdays, at least one day off. Sometimes you got to have some rest. But if you do this, if you get together, like we would get picked up around 2 o'clock in the afternoons. We worked till 9. This company I worked for was very well established, and they knew their stuff. We'd have territories. This is when I first got into sales. They would have territories, and they'd have areas. Now, they had it pretty much broken down. They didn't say zip codes, but back then you had a territory, an area, and you looked at a map. You looked at, you didn't have Google. You didn't have that stuff to be able to look at what's there now, what's on their property. You didn't have that. You had to go door to door. And so what you did was, in the products that I sold, we worked with college people, we worked with homeowners, we worked with people who had apartments, people who were living in trailers. We took care of everybody. So it was a really good platform for me to be able to learn how to sell door to door. It was a great opportunity to work with management and stuff that knew how to run crews. Okay, these guys were real good. They taught me a lot. I had some management like Dwayne Dabrowski. I had some great people that I worked with that were great managers, and they got us involved in learning about the career of selling. This guy didn't teach us just the basics, like go out there and sell some damn stuff. Okay, he said you got to learn how to sell. So listen. If you're going to run a crew, you got to have some people that want to come to work. They can't be all laid out, drunk, and smelling really bad when they go to get up in that vehicle. The reason being is because, customers, they will say, okay, I don't think so. You look a little scary. And so you don't want to be scary when you're knocking on doors. You want to look your best. You want to look fresh. You want to look because you're selling something. Okay? Or you're putting out flyers. You want to look good. You want to look like you're glad to be seen. You're going to be wearing a doggone thing of around your neck that's got your ID in it. And you got to make sure you got a good background if you're doing that, okay, guys? If you're out there selling or putting stuff out door to door, people kind of nosy. And if they see somebody looking through their windows, they're going to call the police. So be careful and make sure that you tell this to the people that you're going to be training. Yeah, I'm a trainer. I love everything there is to know about selling. You know, I've helped a lot of crews over the years, you know, be able to put out a lot of material. And I've done it myself. I put out a lot of material selling stuff. I ain't saying I ain't never done it. So if you're going to run a crew of one, you can run a crew of multiple people. Now listen, if you get this crew together, hopefully you got a nice van. We had a pretty doggone nice van where they would pick us up. We'd go get something to drink, and then we'd get right to it. And I remember being trained and taught, you know, what to say. Now, like any kind of sales business, if you're doing something that you need to see a lot of people to make a lot of money at, well, you got to see them. So what do? You mark out your territories, you get your zip codes, and you take your people to locations. Now, a lot of these locations now you can see on Google Earth. I don't want to put that out there if it's rude, but Google Earth is giving us a lot of opportunities to see who lives where. And it also shows a lot of opportunity to see what's on the property. And so if you're a person who's trying to sell something that needs to sell with a property, just use Google. You'll see a lot of different things because you can manipulate stuff. You can do boundaries. You can sell almost anything by looking at a picture. Okay, it's really a much easier thing than having to go, no. Charge them a lot of money to just say, hey, yeah, you need to get this. And right now, people want to make it real simple. So, you know, selling door to door, it gives you a chance to talk to a lot of people you normally wouldn't talk to. Some people, they're real busy. Some people, they don't like to be bothered. But if you knock on somebody's door and you send people out to do it, you got to make sure they're trained. They got to know what to say. They got to understand the objections that they're going to come out with. People are going to be giving them, oh, I don't need it, blah, blah, blah. You got to help people. I got help. Dwayne Dabrowski took me and showed me about Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Tommy Hopkins. I worked with some of the best salespeople. Ace, I worked with Rick Cartagena and a whole mirror, you know, of great salespeople that were really smart. And, you know, Joe Espy and people like this that were like on the cutting edge of trying to be successful in life. So if you're a person and you look at this job as like, oh, it's just a job, oh, I'm just selling. It's a career, man. This could be a stepping stone to the most spectacular job in the world for you. But see, when we're out there selling, we got to get our feet wet. Okay, lazy people don't make no money. They might make a little bit, but damn, there's a whole lot of money you can make when you're working door to door selling. And you got to have this kind of attitude if you're going to be running a crew. If you're going to be running a group of guys and ladies, you got to treat them with respect. You got to remember they all got personalities, and sometimes they don't blend. Some days you're hot, some days you're mad, some days you're just frustrated. Some days you got to pay the rent, some days you stayed out late last night and got messed up or whatever. You got all kinds of attitudes when you get these people in the van. But see, one of the great attitudes is that you got to consider is that all of these people want to sell something. They're giving up their time. And listen, if you're watching this as a salesperson, you're giving up your time. So what are you going to do with that time? Are you going to learn the craft of what you're trying to sell? Or are you going to be that kind of person who just wings it? Is that what your future looks like? You don't want to be that person. If you're watching these videos, that means you're trying to figure out, how can I be the best at what I can be? Me. Okay, so listen, our subject for today, and my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. You know, it's running a crew, working on a crew. You know, it is a job, guys, and you do have to perform. You do have to knock on the door. And they call this doing the do. You got to knock on the door. You got to listen to people say no. If you're hanging door hangers, hang them up. But always keep your mind, if you're watching as a salesperson, look and see what's around you, because there's opportunities to make more money. You know, if you're a door-to-door salesperson, it's a tough job. But see, it's great for future. It gives you a platform to talk to as many people as you can and make as much money as you can. Shoot, if you sat in a store, you wouldn't be able to make as much money. And door-to-door people selling, it's like a process. When you first started, I remember I was okay. I learned a little bit. I saw my friends making all kinds of big money, but they've been there like a year. And I thought, damn, I could do that. And they showed me their big old fat paychecks and so forth. And so what happens is when you get new people, they'll see these big old fat paychecks. You want to show it to them because, see, that's the kind of money that they can make. It makes a lot of sense to know that, hey, if I'm going to be here, I got a reason to make some money. And remember, guys, when you're showing this stuff to your new people, remember, you're going to go through a lot of people at first, but then you'll get what they call a core group of people. These people will be the ones that show up every day because they're making money. You got to make sure you pay your people now. If you're going to have them go out there and knock on doors and stuff and work their butt off, you better pay them good. Now, I'll say this, guys, it's a tough job. It's a hot job sometimes, especially here in Jacksonville in the Florida area. But one of the key to success is you got to go out there and sell stuff. And when you're a manager, or if you're managing people, even yourself, you got to show up every day. You got to do the do. You got to make sure that these people know that, hey, listen, if you don't show up, we don't have a business. And people need to show up. And I work with some of the best salespeople. And over the years, I've had door-to-door business jobs, and I've worked with so many different companies that had that platform that I was able to check things out. And I'm able to give a little bit of advice because I've been in sales somewhere a long time ago. So running crew door-to-door, and you just got to be a motivated person, guy. I'm serious, man. You got to be able to say, okay, these people are kind of weird. They want to make money, and so do I. Now, you got to know your area. You got to be doing your research if you're a manager. You got to see what's out there. You have to drive around, and you have to make sure that your people are getting picked up at the right time. And you have to be able to be available, so if they need somebody to do what they call a TO, a team opportunity sale, where you can go back there and close the sale, okay, you got to be able to have that. And sometimes you got people that are out there just setting up appointments for salespeople. Now, you got to be able to be available for these people because they're out there selling. Basically, they think they're not selling. They are selling. They're setting up appointments. So if they're out there setting up appointments, then you got to make sure that you get that vital information to make sure that your salespeople are able to get back to that area. And they have what they call a honeypot area where you get a bunch of sales in one little particular area. That's the one you want to get. You know, my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. You know, door-to-door selling is really, really cool. I love it. It's hard. It's hot. And you better be ready to make some money. Because I'll tell you what, you can sell anything door-to-door. You know, people want to buy stuff, but you got to be willing to sell them stuff. And my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. Our topic for today is selling. How to run a door-to-door selling crew or business. There'll be trial and error. There'll be good days, bad days, but there'll be a lot of days when you'll be making so much money and the aggravation. But see, make sure you reward your people. Make sure you give them a lot of rewards, money, food, clothes, trips, anything you could do to help them. You could do a really, really good opportunity for yourself, because if you can help a salesperson see that they can be number one and they can make some money, damn, they making you money, baby. So you got to say, come on, let's get me some. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. We just had a simple conversation about selling door-to-door, what it's like to be on a crew or running a crew. You work together as a team, guys. Don't let me fool you. You work together as a team. Personalities have to gel. And you got to be a manager if you're going to be a manager. And remember that, you know, you're going to bust your ass because you're going to make a lot of money, but you got to work for it. And you got to make sure that your salespeople know how to sell. And it's a good job. You drive them around, take them place to place, make sure they get incentives taken care of, make sure they get their rewards, get their food, and they're happy. So go out there, and my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. So do me a favor, go out there and sell something. But if you ain't asking for the order, you ain't selling. Our subject for today was selling. How to run a door-to-door selling crew. You work together generally as a team, guys. Crew, okay. We want a boat crew. We going to be crew. We good crew. So go out there and sell something and get your group together. Put them out there. Help them make some money. That way everybody makes some money. Go to the next territory. That's all you do. Keep going. Keep going. Bye-bye. Go out there and sell something. Bye-bye.